Hello, hello, hello. So let me ask you, are you tired of awkward silences and stumbling through conversations? Are you sick of feeling like your message gets lost in translation? Are you ready to uplevel your communication like a boss? Well, you're in the right place. My name is Cathy Riley. I'm your host and communications expert with over 25 years experience in litigation and another 15 years as an entrepreneur, speaker, leader, coach. Tune in as we serve up piping hot blends of tools, systems, techniques guaranteed to revolutionize the way you connect with others. From mastering the art of tough conversations to cultivating a mindset that screams confidence, we're here to help you dominate. At Breaking Bad Communication, we're not just breaking bad habits, we're shattering communication barriers, personally and professionally. And I was asked again, why are you doing this podcast? What is it? And some people that were not really nice, like, why are you doing a podcast? And then there's some people like, oh yay, you're doing a podcast. Um, so you're gonna have people in your world that support you, and then you're gonna have people in your world that don't. And part of doing this and launching this podcast is one, because I believe in getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is very uncomfortable for me. Yes, I'm a speaker, it's very uncomfortable. But podcasting, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just making this stuff up as I go. I mean, as an entrepreneur, it's like launch and adjust, launch and adjust. I'm just figuring out as I go. But the purpose behind my true why, okay, my why in doing this podcast is because I'm a mom. I'm a mom of a young girl. And when I first started speaking, she was 5. And now she's 18. And I've seen the change in her, but I've seen the change in me. And as a parent, I believe in leading by example. So here's my story. 2010, 2011, I ended up with 4 surgeries in 5 months. And when I say, and I talk about boundaries and self advocating, owning your worth, and all of that, I did none of that. I did none of that. I grew up in the Midwest where girls were to be seen and not heard. I can't tell you how many family gatherings I was told to get in the kitchen and clean the dishes. And I'm like, didn't we all just eat? So the rebel in me struggled with this a little bit. But I did it. I did it. And I stayed quiet. I stayed quiet. I stayed quiet. Then 2010, 2011 hurts. The first surgery was a foot surgery, and that was planned. The second surgery, it happened in the winter, and I remember the day vividly. So my husband and daughter, my daughter was 5 at the time, so she's just a little pipsqueak. Amazing little girl. And the 2 of them decide to go up to the mountains to go skiing. And I decide to stay home. We've done it all together. And this was like, you know what? I wanted a day. I wanted a day to myself. At the time, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a horse owner. Um, I was working as a litigation paralegal and I was working as an entrepreneur. I had a party plan business and was doing that. So I was stepping out and helping women build confidence through jewelry. And thus the sharing the shine. That's where the name of my company came into play, because when you show up authentically, you truly shine. And I was working mostly with women at the time. So I was doing all of the things that I was supposed to be doing. Like people tell us, you working here, how many hours, all of this, taking care of the horse. This is what you're supposed to be. He should be riding, 2 to 3 times a week, doing all the things that you should. And for those that are listening, I'm using air quotes with my fingers. Should. What should we be doing? And I was doing it all. Um, I was gifting my time to anybody and everybody. I was allowing other people to run my life. I wasn't really living it. I was just putting out fires constantly. I'm the kind of person that if you needed something to get done, you asked me to do it, and I did it. I did it well. But what happened was I have this day to myself, and I decided to do nothing. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do nothing. So I went back to bed because they left at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I went back to bed, slept until, 7:30. It's crazy when I say sleeping in is 7:30, but that's what it was. And I took an extra long, uninterrupted hot shower. Now, keep in mind that I have a child, a 5-year-old child, and 2 dogs. So the fact that the dogs even left me alone, it was really, really wonderful. And then that morning, as I bent down to pick something up, I felt and heard a pop. And I went, huh. So I did that little inventory of my body. And I'm like, there wasn't any pain. There wasn't anything going on. So I did what a lot of us do. And I told myself, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's probably nothing. When it maybe just gas. Yeah, it's nothing. As the day progressed, I started feeling a little off. The best way I could describe it is I just felt like I had bad gas, and it was unexplained. And I took some medicine and parked myself on the couch to watch When Harry Met Sally, which I think is an awesome movie. I will watch that over and over and over again. So the movie ends and it's time I'm hungry. So I stand up and this wave of pain and nausea hits me like a truck. I mean, it's like bam. I drop, my knees give way. I drop to the ground. And I know I'm going to toss my cookies. I'm going to lose it. Now, I'm also the person that cleans the house, and I was on carpet. And about 5 feet away was tile floor. And my brain was thinking it's easier to clean up tile floor than carpet. This is just how my brain works. So I do the little commando thing, right? And I pull myself over the ground, through over to carpet, over to the tile floor, and I let go. And I'm like, okay, this is something's wrong. Something's wrong. What's going on? And I'm doing that inventory again, trying to feel, okay, there was a moment of pain, but I don't feel anything right now. And I'm like, huh. And I'm like, oh, it's just gas. It's gas. Oh, you know what? You took some medicine, and I bet that upset my belly, and that's why. So I went from thinking, great googly moogly, I need help, to then talking myself out of it. What kicked in is what I now call the itty bitty shitty committee, our stinking thinking. My brain started telling me why I shouldn't call attention to me. Other people are busy. They have very busy days. This is nothing. Stop being a drama queen. I literally told myself, you're being a drama queen. What do you mean? What are you going to call 911? Do you know how much that cost? You're not going to call anybody else because you're going to, why? Going to be bothered? You're going to bother them. Don't bother them. It's nothing. And I stayed silent. My husband called within about 30 minutes, and I'm like, honey, I think you should come home. Don't, just grab some food and come home. And he did, scoop me up. When he got home, scooped me up, took me to the ER, and they rushed me in for emergency surgery. You see, I had an ectopic pregnancy. My right tube had burst, and I've been bleeding out all day. I came so close to losing my life. Losing my life because I couldn't pick up the phone and call for help. Seriously. And I'm an optimist. So what I really heard that day was that I got pregnant. You see, my daughter is in vitro. It took us 2 years to get her. 2 years. We went through a lot. And I learned from the doctors that I got pregnant naturally. I was overjoyed. The reality of what had happened didn't hit. It didn't hit. So I believe in the good Lord, or whether you believe in karma, energy, whatever it is. Within 6 weeks, I was back in the hospital again with with two detached retinas. Not one, two. So the one I had major surgery on, and the other was a simple laser surgery. Now that surgery, oh, that was rough. That was rough. I remember the doctors telling me, 6 weeks recovery. That was a lie. That was a true lie. But the doctors did tell me that when they were in there for surgery, it's kind of gross what they do, so I won't explain it. But they're working on your eyeball. And so, excuse me as you watch me pat my nose. Um, they said that they almost gave up on me. He's like, I beat you. I've never come so close to giving up on eye surgery than I did with you. But we were successful. And so I have vision. Um, I'm blessed, very blessed. But that was two detached retinas. Now, the recovery for that, they said 6 weeks, lie. That was truly 6 months, closer to a year, quite honestly, but 6 months of being miserable. I was heavily medicated and I went from bed to couch. That was it. I couldn't drive. I couldn't cook. I couldn't do anything. I was being so medicated, I could barely think. So I really checked out. And I remember my little girl, again, she's 5, brings me dinner. She brings me the tray. She's like, "What else can I get you, mama?" And I just went, "Damn." I'm like, "Thank you, baby. But we can do better. We can do better." So I decided to work on me. I didn't want her to be me. I mean, look at what the heck I just went through. Right? Because I couldn't pick up the phone to ask for help. That so much was going on that it's like the good Lord was like, "Are you listening? Are you listening?" And I wasn't. So it's like a little tap and it's a little smack. And then it was a, and my life blew up. I had to learn how to self advocate. I had to learn how to use my voice and ask for help. I had to change how I communicated because my voice mattered and I am worthy. If I wanted my daughter to feel that way, I had to feel that way. This isn't something you fake it until you make it. You really have to. You have to own that space. So I got really, really uncomfortable. I'm telling you, oh my gosh, really, really uncomfortable to learn how to use my voice, ask for help, how to create boundaries, how to use my words. And even when they didn't come out right, to know that they came out the way they were meant to come out and just own that space. And I tell you, what happened a couple years later, 5 years later, get this, people, 5 years later, I am working in my office and I have a party that night and I sneeze. Okay, I sneeze. And this wave of pain goes through me like, holy cow. And now it hurts to breathe. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? So this time I'm on the phone with my doctor. This time I'm on the phone with my husband. This time I'm on the phone with my team saying, one of you is taking over this, they're going to work, right? Because I'm not going to work. I'm going to the hospital. And then I proceeded to call every single neighbor because I'm like, one of you is driving my butt. One of you is driving my butt to the ER, which was just down the street. We didn't really have Ubers back then. And I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. And my neighbor jokes, she was so kind, so kind. She jokes that she was between drop off on one kid and pick up on the other. And so she dropped off at the house, picked me up while on her way to school. And she said when we pulled into the ER, she slowed down just enough to kick me out. But this time I was, was on the phone with the doctor. We had the plan, all of this stuff, and it turned out to be blood clots covering both lungs. Covering both lungs. I am so lucky I got in there. They gave me the shots, right, which started diluting it right away. Because if one of those went to my heart or my brain, I wouldn't be here today. I have permanent lung damage in my right lung, and I have a new normal. But this time, my friends, I used my voice and I saved my life. This stuff that I talk about and I teach, great googly moogly, it works. It works, my friends. Owning your worth, owning your truth, knowing that you matter. Your genius, what you bring to the table is so unique and so beautiful and so amazing that you need it. We need it. I need it. Everyone in this world is a better place because of you. We are so much better because of you. So your voice, we need to hear. Your truth, we need. There are too many people out there that are just speaking to speak, right? And I was bullied. I don't like bullies. I really don't. They have their own issues, right? We could go off on a whole, that actually would be a really good podcast. We should talk about bullying and how to navigate that. So I will put a pin in that one. But there are so many people that hesitate to use their voice out of fear. And those are the people we need to hear from. I was one of them. No longer. My daughter, she's learned to use her voice. She's an introvert as well, so she doesn't like giving presentations, but she'll raise her hand in class, right? She does. She shares her voice. And so that's why I do what I do, because if I can help one person, then this uncomfortableness that I feel is worth it. And I remember when I first started my business and started speaking, I said, okay, if I could help one person. Well, that lasted like a month because within the first month of my business, I had people giving me messages saying, oh my gosh, because of you, I talked to my doctor. And oh my God, because of you, I created this boundary. And oh my God, because of you, I said no, and I did this and that. No, they thank you for the inspiration. And I was like, well, okay. So I said if I could do one person, like it's for my daughter, but I can help one other person. And I'm like, how many more can I help? How many more people out there need to know that their voice needs to be heard, that you're worthy and deserving, and that your genius needs to be shared? How many more people could I touch? So I started speaking. And then right now it's like, why not do a podcasts are hot right now. And hubba hubba. Bow chicky wow wow. So why not? So I'm stepping into the podcast world to share my message, share my genius. I'm going to look up and interview experts in the industry. I want more people to learn about communication and how can they improve their life simply by improving communication, because it can be done. I'm living proof of it. So, phew. All right. That's a wrap for today's episode of Breaking Bad Communication. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to my story. That's it. That's my why. I'm doing this for you. Quite honestly, I'm doing this for you. And as you head back into the world, remember every conversation is your chance to shape your life and the lives of others. Whether it's a tough talk or a casual chat, be clear, be intentional, and listen like it matters. The better you communicate, the more your life aligns with what you truly want. So get out there, own your voice, speak your truth. You're worth it. Thank you for being here.